the question is how we met.
Kind of hard to hide that.
It's documented.
Documented.
1995, I flew to Hawaii to do a series of shows. I used to host a show called The Extremists off of a show that I did called MTV Sports, and I would interview athletes. And so I would then, after I interview them, kind of talk about their preparation, their thinking, all this stuff, try a version, like a beginner's version of whatever sport it was. So it could be drag racing or skydiving or rock climbing or surfing. Certainly not toe surfing because I'm not qualified to do that. So Laird took me tandem surfing. Mm-hmm.
That's two people on one board.
Yep, that's two people on one board.
It wasn't on purpose, but it just kind of worked out.
And
that.
People go, is it love at first sight? I don't think it is. I think both Laird and I are not really hardwired for that. You always said it was love after first conversation.
Well, that was the gas on the fire.
Yeah. And then we lived together 8 days later. Because he was in Hawaii, I was in California. I was playing volleyball. He was over there surfing. So we sort of had to make these big moves. It was not without its complications. You know, it's one of those things I'm trying to remember for my own kids where I had something inside me. I felt really strongly that Laird was my person, and none of it made sense, and definitely not on paper. But I trusted that, and I was.
It's the old never say never. It's like,
yeah,
I'll never, 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 and then you go back against all your nevers.
List. I went, I ate never cake, but.
I ate never cake.
I was always pretty reasonable, and this was the most impetuous thing I ever did in my life. 29 years later. What? You've never seen me do anything more impetuous.
Well, that's true. Maybe the most impetuous thing you ever did since after you met me.
Oh yeah, maybe that's true.
Okay, good.
But it was a big move.
Yeah,
and
it was a big move for me.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I'm glad.
I'm so great. I didn't know I was so smart at such a 25.
You were a lot smarter than I was, and still are. So congratulations.
But I want to say this in wrapping this up because that sounds all fantastical.
Yeah.
We have had to navigate situations over the 29 years. So there's been a lot of learning and failing. And so I think sometimes people look from the outside and they think, oh, it's just perfect. And what do people say?
Hurricanes.
Wing to wing and all this gibberish.
Yeah.
We've almost been divorced once.
Yeah.
We've gone through things. So I never want to paint a picture. It's just, do you feel inspired that it's worth it? And can you get new tools, new skills, new things to go and continue to work it out?
And I think it's like any success, it comes with work. I don't think there's any success of any type that doesn't come without a certain amount of effort and things lining up and just all these other variables. And
that's the other thing too, is sort of things lining up for you, like the timing, the person, all of those things.
Oh, yeah.
You also realize the work is that you're working on yourself all the time. Like you think it'd be you working on me or me working on you.
No, you work on you and I'll work on me.
It's kind of how it goes.
Yeah.